Chapter 18, The Beach. No, Mum screamed. She ran across the reception hall, jangling as she went. Frankie, stop him. We can't let people see him. I spun back towards the door and saw Grogba's little naked bottom wobbling down the garden path. In a moment he'd be through the front gate and out onto the pavement among hundreds of human tourists. Quick, Mum huffed as she darted past me, pinching her nose. Any second the spell on the doorstep would mean her poor human nostrils would be filled with the stench of Brussels sprouts. She hated them. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Dad was hot on Mum's heels. He'll blow our cover completely. I jumped down the steps onto the front path to see Grogba pushing open the gate and scurrying through it. It's mine, Grogba yelled over his shoulder as he hopped across the pavement. There were families strolling in both directions and traffic as far as the eye could see. It would take only seconds before he was flattened by a car and we'd all be arrested for royal murder. Or worse, he'd be spotted and our secret would be ruined forever. Prince Grogba, Mum was practically screeching. She reached the gate and hurdled over it like a deranged Christmas decoration. The prince darted between the legs of two men holding hands and pushing a pushchair. Ha ha, he laughed. Out of my way, pathetic humans. This was it. The nothing to see here hotel was going to be exposed and we'd be run out of town like monsters. Whoa, it was Mum. Wah! Dad and I stopped in our tracks at the gate and stared. Yahoo! Mum raised her arms in the air and shimmied. Her jingly-jangly top tingled loudly as she jumped about. Ooh, ah, ee! You genius, I thought to myself. Everyone on the pavement, including a shocked-looking dog, was gawping at Mum. She whistled and whooped and twirled her way into the road. Cars screeched their brakes and drivers leaned out of their windows agog at the bonkers belly dancer. Where is he? Dad said. Quick, while everyone's distracted. I scanned the road and pavement on the other side. For a second I thought we'd lost the little twerp. Then I caught a glimpse of him waddling out from under an ice cream van and heading down onto the pebbles. He's already on the beach, I told Dad. Oh, this is bad. Dad grabbed me by the hand and pulled me across the road. My eyes darted back and forth, trying to spot Grogba. Normally the beach was only filled with old people snoring in their deck chairs on weekday afternoons, but I could already see a big group of children on a school trip heading towards us in the distance. And, Dad spotted them too. Way ahead of us, too far to catch him, Grogba was skittering straight towards the big class of kids. I couldn't hear what he was shouting, but he was waving his stumpy arms, so I guessed he was ordering them to get away from his plunge pool. We're done for, Dad said. Think of something, Mum yelled as she caught up with us. There has to be a... Hello, darlings. We spun round and standing right behind us were three very old men in crumpled suits. Each of them had an enormous white beard and gappy, rotten teeth. Mum said, I'm sorry, we haven't got time to... If uff, the three men said in unison. The molar 30th. The Molar Sisters, Dad gasped. They each pulled a magic wand from one of their crumpled suit pockets and winked. We haven't played with a pop of magic in yonks. Mum looked like she was about to cry. You brilliant, brilliant men. Ladies, men. Where if the little blighter, said the sisters. Dad pointed at Grogba, who was only a few seconds away from running head first into the school children and blowing the secret of the hotel for good. Oh, blunkin' bunions, the Molar sisters said when they spotted the prince. We need to clear this beach quick. With that, they mumbled a few odd-sounding words and under their breath and gave a violent flick of their wrists. I'd never seen tooth fairies casting spells before, but it wasn't quite as impressive as I'd hoped. One of their wands snapped as they flicked it, and another let go of hers and lobbed it into the sea. That ought to do it. What ought to do it? Said Mum after a few seconds. What did you actually do? Just you watch, the Molar sisters said, grinning proudly. Suddenly the pebbles on the beach seemed to lurch under our feet, and the air was filled with a strange crunching sound. Look, Dad said, and pointed at the ground. All of the pebbles were jumping and jostling about. Then, one by one, they sprouted legs and little eyes on stalks. Before we knew it, Brighton Beach had been replaced by millions and millions of tiny hermit crabs. They scuttled about and tumbled over each other. Ugh, Mum yelped. They're disgusting. Exactly, said Dad. You did it. He scooped the 3 old men into a bear hug. Dad was right. I looked along the beach and saw all the human tourists screaming and running for the safety of the pavement at the top of the swarm of crabs. The Molar sisters had cleared the beach before anyone could spot Prince Grogba, who was now flailing about, kicking and swatting at the little creatures. Oof! Here to help, came another voice from behind us. Oof was still wearing his massive straw hat and sunglasses and had wrapped himself in one of Mum's sarongs from the kitchen laundry pile. It was a pretty convincing disguise. Get him quick, Dad said, pointing at the prince. Oof grabbed Grog. Oof shouted and loped off across the crabs. Then, just when I thought the ogre would snatch Grogba off his feet, Oof jumped into the air and came crashing down on top of him, wrestling the prince flat. Got him, Oof shouted, waving back at us.